Arnarsson. He is the first settler to ever come to Iceland to settle down. So he's a Viking from Norway. All the first settlers are Vikings because there was a civil war going on in Norway. So they had to flee Norway and come to Iceland. This is in the year 874 Viking. And Ingólfur is not the first person to find Iceland though. There's another Viking called Floki, Floki, who was blown over the wind from Norway, found Iceland by accident, stayed here one winter, kind of held up, absolutely hated it, went back to Norway and told others about it. And he is actually the one who names it Iceland because he stayed up in the north over the winter, which was a huge mistake. Remember, southwest should have been the choice. So it was covered in ice the whole winter, went back to Norway, named it Iceland. So when the Vikings hear about this, they figure we could flee the war that's going on in Norway and take our chances on this new land. So Ingólfur, he's going to leave and sets course for this land. But he has this one thing back home in Norway he just cannot leave behind. And that was his house. It was a family house that was always kept in the family, had now been passed down to him. So he didn't want to just leave the house behind and go. But he couldn't take the whole house with him either. So what he did was he demolished the house in Norway, but took the two timber logs and stood at opposite ends. Like these two pillars on opposite ends of the house, basically to like hold up the roof, if you can imagine that. He took those with him and figured he could just build a new house in Iceland, use the same two timber logs to hold it up, and just pass that one down instead. So, he started sailing, looking for this new land he had heard about, and weeks later, he finally starts seeing new land out on the horizon. But he realizes he has no idea where to settle down in this new land. So, he decides to ask for help. And what he does is he grabs the two timber logs, throws them out into the ocean, and prays to the gods to guide his way to his new home. So the old Norse gods, Thor, Odin, Loki, they're supposed to step in here, guide the timber logs all the way to the shore, and wherever Ingólfur will then find the timber logs alongside the shore, that will just be a sign from the gods that that's where he should settle down and build his new land. And of course, the new land that he saw in the story was Iceland. Anybody want to guess where the timber logs came ashore? Reykjavik, yeah. So Reykjavik became his new home, and that's why he settled down here in the first place. And this is where we get the name Reykjavik from. The name of the city comes from this old story on the first settlement.
So, Pele's hair are these very thin strands of lava, and they do get formed in nature, but this is something that happens when lava goes off of an edge and then gets picked up by the wind. So that's how it can get blown into a very thin strand like this. The hairs are named after the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes. So her name is Pele. Except in Iceland, there is no such thing as a goddess called Pele. So in Icelandic, they were called witches' hairs or Nornahal. The hairs do cool down very quickly. They're going to go from orange to black in just a few seconds. If you look at the surface of the lava is no longer moving, so the top layer of it. Plenty of liquid lava under there. So when it is this bright yellow, that means it's the same temperature it was when it came out of the furnace. So we're looking at 1,000 degrees and higher. It does look a little bit like cheese, but very spicy cheese. All right, we're gonna come over here. And same thing, now gently lift this up. And we can see the nice gooey cheese fall down. It's gooey, it's sticky. Because as soon as it hits the open air, it's gonna start to solidify. But it solidifies in stages. It doesn't go straight from liquid to solid. It has this middle phase. And so we're gonna see that here, where once I get underneath that initial layer again, we can see the outside edge is gonna hold better because it is more solid. Underneath, you get that yellow 1,000-degree lava. Parts of it are more orange, parts of it are sticky, parts of it are liquid, parts of it are solid. I can't even pull that off in a glob because this side of it is already too strong, it's too solid. But it's not quite a solid, not all the way anyways, because I can move it. So that means we're not